Republican lawmakers trying to block a new attempt by the Treasury Department to limit the political activities of tax-exempt groups. This in the wake of the IRS scandal over the targeting of conservative groups. Republican Tom Price saying in a statement, quote, "Make no mistake about it, the Obama administration is doing this as a blatant attempt to silence political speech." Michigan Congressman Dave Camps, chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, you made a move yesterday. Good morning to you back home in Detroit. Appreciate the hustle to the camera. I know your plane just landed. Tell me this. Can you prove that the targeting of political groups, conservative groups, is still happening today?
Well, we don't know. But we know that there were, of the groups that were targeted, of those that were audited, 100% of them were conservative groups. And what I believe is they are just taking what they were doing informally and making it into a rule. That's why we need to delay it. And again, they only went after groups that were what we call 501c4s or social welfare. They didn't go after unions. They didn't go after chambers of commerce. They didn't go after charitable groups, all of which can still do political activity. So they've only limited the political activity of the groups they targeted. So I think we really need to delay this, complete the investigation. We don't have all the documents that we've requested from the IRS yet. And let's put this out past the election.
Let me talk about one of those documents that came up, 2 weeks ago when Lois Lerner, now retired, was copied on one of these emails. And the email said this from another member of her team. "Don't know who in your organization is keeping tabs on C4s. But since we mentioned potentially addressing them off-plan in 2013, I've got my radar up and this seemed interesting." That phrase off-plan, what does that tell you, sir?
Well, they were going to do this offline, out of the public debate. And, you know, what really happened here is they had actually started on limiting these groups years before they actually said they did. I mean, they said they needed to do this because of confusion about the law, which came recently as a result of the former Commissioner Danny Werfel's report. They actually had started limiting these groups much sooner than they had really let us know. So this email tells us two things. One, they were trying to do it in secret, and two, they did it long before they said there was a need to. So this has been something they've been after for quite some time. The targeting within the agency was just icing on the cake and more of the same. So we really need to stop this.
Understood. In this measure you went for yesterday, what would that do in the end then?
Well, it would prevent them from finalizing the rule for a year. Right now, it's just a proposed rule. There's the comment period now. They're getting lots of comments, I think 23,000 so far. But once they get those comments, it's really up to Treasury when they finalize this rule. They could finalize it before the election. So what this does is says, wait a year. We don't say never do it. We say wait a year. And that will give us time to complete our investigation in the committee. Also, the Treasury Inspector General has not completed his investigation either. So there's still a lot of information we need to just finalize before they start moving forward with rulemaking, which has the effect of law.
But you said earlier that unions can still do this. Are you saying that unions can still organize per usual for elections today?
Absolutely, absolutely. They do nothing to change the fact that unions can engage in political activity. They only go after these, which are organized under what we call 501c5. They only go after these, what we call C4 groups, which are social welfare groups, which have been all the conservative. And look, many of these are small groups with budgets under $5,000. Chambers of commerce and business associations organized under another section of the code, they don't touch those either. Charitable groups are yet another, and they don't touch those. They only go after this one particular section, and you know, that just doesn't look right, and clearly isn't, and we need to delay it.
One more point here in the short time I have left. Treasury Department says they're just trying to clarify vague rules. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, the law's been the law for 50 years, and our investigation has shown there was no confusion about the law. What they really wanted to do is prevent these people from exercising their constitutional rights. And so that just really isn't the reason. And again, this didn't start in Cincinnati. It was in Washington, D.C. Lots of the things that they've put out have been inaccurate, and that is as well.
Dave Camp, thank you, the congressman out of Michigan. Appreciate your time in Detroit, sir. Talk to you again.
Thanks. Good to talk to you, Bill.
You bet. Thank you.